This is a beginner-friendly framework with some bonus tip to help you save money efficiently. Do you know that 99% of people fail to save money because of their brain? Your brain is roughly of this size. Every single time you make a conscious choice of saving money instead of spending it, you drain your willpower. By 7 p.m. as the day goes by, your self-control is completely tapped out. In that moment, you are at your most vulnerable to make impulse choices. It is not a lack of discipline, rather, it's the way our brain evolved. The top 1% of successful savers do not possess superior self control or more willpower than you do. They just rely on a much better automated system. Today, we are breaking down this system. It is called the 3S framework. It consists of secure, stack, and spend. This is a complete framework that will automate your wealth building and remove the willpower from the factor. I have provided a free PDF in description. You can go and check that out for the notes related to this video. Now, the best part about 3S framework is that it actually allows you to spend your money freely to some extent without the guilt and while building your wealth on the side. The first step you need to do is you need to calculate your total after tax income. Basically, if you have multiple source of income, you need to calculate what you are saving from each of them after the taxes and add them. This is your after tax income. These are the total 4 steps that's in the secure framework. The first thing you need to do is audit your needs. Basically, look at your bank statement and pinpoint the essential saving required to live, which usually provides 80% of quality of your life. Suppose you are spending your money on multiple subscription, but you can make do it with just one subscription. You don't need the extra 10 or 15 subscription that you are using. That's why essential spending includes expenses like housing, transportation, utilities, the grocery bill, or any daily necessities. Basically anything that's under the 80% of your satisfaction level. Anything more than 80%, that's unnecessary. After the audit, you need to target the golden ratio. Your total essential spending should account for roughly 50 to 60% of your monthly take home pay. If you take home suppose $6,000, then according to 50-60% rule, your essential expenses should come under the $3,000 mark. You can always reduce this, but you should never increase it. After sorting out at 50-60% of your essential expenses, you need to add roughly 10% to that. This is your contingency buffer. Adding this buffer covers all the forgotten charges like some bills to pay, or maybe a car change, maybe a tire repair like puncture, or anything like that. Once you added your buffer, you now have your essential expenses. Now you need to calculate the remainder. Remainder is basically the after tax money minus the essential total. Once you have a fairly accurate essential total, subtract it from after tax paycheck. Now you know exactly how much money is left with you for your other goals. The thing is, due to the way we evolved, our brain thinks of the future self as stranger. It will always prioritize the present instead of the future, and that is like rafting against the current of water. To fix this, we need to build a bridge so that we can directly bypass the current, which leads us to the second step, which has roughly 5 process. In first process, you need to target short-term goals. Aim to save 5 to 10% for the goals you are planning on achieving in next 5 years. This 5 to 10% amount is the amount of your take-home pay. It can be any goal, like for me it is buying a house. We also need a TV, we need a refrigerator, and we need a sofa. We all have multiple different goals, and we are saving for multiple different types of money for different timeline of the goal period. For that, you need to make sure that you name every single goal. By doing this, you will be able to visualize how you are saving your money, and it will motivate you to save more. To save more, you need to utilize automatic tools, because we need to remove our willpower, and automatic tools is the best way to do it. As soon as the money that will come into your account, it will directly get transferred. Hence, there is no willpower included in this, and you won't be able to use it on impulse. As I just said, you need to mark each and every of your goals. You also need to provide your each goal their separate bank account, preferably the high yield saving account. And if you are not using high yield saving account, you can use a consumer deposit. We also call the same thing fixed deposit. For fixed deposit, you can have it in one bank, but you need to make sure that you have different fixed deposit for different types of goals. This will do three things. First of all, it will prevent your money from getting corroded by the inflation. Second, it will help you prevent the impulse purchases. And third, you can track your saving. You will be able to track that yes, my particular goal A is not having enough saving, I need to save more for this. My goal B is doing great, so that's okay. You can always visualize it, you can always track it, because there is a saying, if you cannot track it, you cannot manage it. Now comes the time where we can start focusing on our building wealth. For that, The first thing you need to do is create an emergency fund. You need to take your essential expenses of 1 month and multiply it by 3 to 6 depending on the nature of your job. If your job is very volatile, keep it at 6 times. If you have a regular job which is not that much volatile, you can keep it at 3 times of your monthly expenses. Now we need to invest. First thing you need to do is any goal that requires the timeline of more than 5 years, you need to invest roughly 10 to 15% of your total investable surplus in that goal. The reason I am saying invest first for the goal that require more than 5 years is because you can leverage the compound growth. Let me show you the basic example of this. So this is the graph. Here see this is the dash line. Dash line represents the total principal invested. The blue line represents total portfolio value and the shaded area represent compound interest earned. See here in year roughly 1 to 3. Okay, you have invested roughly I guess $30,000. Your total portfolio value roughly $40,000. Basically you have made the return of $10,000. But just as we move to the 8 year mark, see here in 8 year you have roughly invested $100,000. Okay, your portfolio value is at $150,000, means you have made $50,000 in return only. We just move to 2 more year in 10 year mark, in a decade mark. See, you have invested roughly $130,000 and in just 2 more year you have gained $200,000. In total you have roughly gained a return of $100,000, and when we compare it from 8 year mark, it took you 8 year to gain the $50,000 worth of return, but it took you only 2 more year to gain extra $50,000 worth of return. This is the leverage we are talking about, and it is only possible with compounding in a condition that we invest for at least a decade. For that you need to be consistent, because consistency will only help. If you are not consistent, compounding will just not work. You know, most budget fails by the second month because they are too restrictive. It looks like punishment rather than saving. That is why we have third framework. This entire system works because it flips the dynamic by giving you explicit permission to spend. It consists of these three processes. The first thing you need to do is embrace flexible spending. Any money you have saved up after the step 1 and step 2, that is your securing and stacking, you can use it for your guilt-free spending. You can use this money to buy whatever you want without feeling any sense of guilt. Plus, I'm also giving you a guilt-free ratio. You can spend roughly 50 to 20% of your paycheck on your guilt-free spending with the extra money you saved up in the previous step. You have two choices to spend your guilt-free money. You can either spend it or you can invest it. Because you have taken care of all your vital needs and your future wealth, you can follow any of these steps without any guilt. If you want, you can invest. If you want, you can spend. All in all, you can make these choices with peace of your mind. Now, let me tell you some bonus tip you can use with 3S framework. The first thing is you need to pay off all your high interest debt. There are two types of debt: crowding debt and leverage debt. To tell you in simple term, any debt that is taking your money more than what you are going to get from the return of investment is a crowding debt. You need to remove all your crowding debt, because interest rates charged on the crowding debt are always way higher compared to the interest rate you are going to get from the return. That's why if you don't pay crowding debt, you will just waste your time, you will waste your money. The second thing you need to do is be aware of lifestyle creep. As you will make more money, you will feel like you can upgrade your lifestyle. You will feel like I can buy a new car, I can buy a new luxury house, but try to keep your secure as stable as possible. Rather than spending the extra money on the 20% of essential expenses, it will be much better if you just invest that money. As you already have your guilt-free money, you can use this extra money for your future goals to accelerate your wealth building journey. The third point is investment is not just about getting rich. It is primarily the mechanism of protecting your money from inflation. And in the process, if you make some money, it is good. But primarily the only reason we invest is to protect our money from inflation. As inflation slowly erodes our purchasing power over time. In 5 year periods, in 10 year periods, it can be like we can't buy anything with that money which we can buy right now with that amount of money. Like suppose you have $100,000 right now, and suppose you can buy this XYZ car right now. But in 10 year mark, if you let your money get corroded by inflation, you will still have the $100,000, but the price of the world around you will go up. That means that the same XYZ car will now cost $200,000. You need extra $100,000 now to buy the car. Once we control the corroding of inflation, we can be at peace of our mind that even after 10 years, I will still have the same purchasing power that I have right now. And in the process, if I make some extra money, it's good. If I don't make the money, I'm still saving my money from inflation. Which is why it is critical to invest your money you are not going to need for a decade or maybe 5 years, maybe 6 years or more. The last tip is conduct an annual financial review. Life happens. You can either get better in life or you can get worse in life. Anything can happen. That is why once a year, sit down and review your essential spending, check your saving targets, rebalance your investment portfolio to ensure your system still aligns with your current reality. Here is a homework for you. Pick just one short-term saving goals, open a high saving account or a fixed deposit, set up an automatic transfer, and bypass your willpower entirely. Try to use this 3 system, and I promise that it will work. It will enable you to save your money in such a way that you will feel like it's unreal. But it is not unreal, we just need to remove our willpower. If we just bypass the willpower entirely, we will just fix the most important thing about saving money. Obviously, there are many more things you need to know, but for now, this is it. Let's meet in the next video.